Hello, my friends, and welcome back. In any conversation or dispute, verbal dispute, that's a technique that works to a certain extent. Always be the first who blame the other one, even of something that you did. So if you smell that the issue is about to come up, and you might be caught with your pants down, you be the first who call the other one uh, whatever the issue is. Like if the guy is, let's say, some is a thief, and you are the thief, you be the first one who say, "No, he's the thief right here." Why? Because you divert things. You're gonna be the guy who's gonna attack. The other one is gonna defend. It's gonna take time, and the same time, in the meantime, the conversation can go to very other routes. So you get lost, like in a little, like in the bushes. You hide yourself. You can do. So in this case, guess who's doing this? I think that Ukraine. But what do you think? Let's see. We got an article here that it's from republicworld.com from May 2nd, 2022. And here is what the title says. Ukraine calls on US to recognize Russia as a state sponsor of terrorism. Okay, you can say that. We don't know if they are. We don't know if you are. But the fact that you are speeding to this thing without, an international investigation, impartial investigation, you cry too fast. You can say, well, whatever, it's been 2 months. Well, 2 months, you can't just call someone like that and expect the other people to do what you're doing just because you say so. And besides, I'm going to give you here another another article from the same media outlet saying like this: heroic ghost of Kiev fighter pilot is a myth. Ukraine says. We knew that. All right, so we just come clear now after what, 2 months and a half almost of fighting over there about the ghost of Kiev fighter pilot killed 3,000 Russians, and half of Putin and Lavrov is running the bathroom, and we knew, I knew at least, and I'm pretty sure you didn't fall for this, because it's always you try to. I'm gonna put this on and off. Uh, they try to create, ideals and ideas and how do you call the heroes, so the population has faith, follow. Oh, we got that, we got that, we got this. Everything is, it's always like, it's been like this, is like this, and will be like this. Yeah, that's the way it is. So let's go back to the whatever the Ukrainians call the US to recognize. Is that a little bit of chutzpah, to use a term that would fit? So the Ukrainian parliament has drafted a legislation calling on the US to identify Russia as a state sponsor of terrorism, according to the Rada speaker. Well, it's your country. You do that if you want with your minions. Why do you need your boss to do that? Oh, because that way the whole thing is gonna be more credible, get credibility. It's like the big lie. Remember the big lie? Say something fantastically, outrageously lie, but repeating it and being so outrageously obvious that it's unproven, people are like, what? They start believing it. And by repetition. So these guys are saying something. I'm not saying it's a lie. I'm just saying it was not concluded. So you can't just do that, but they can. So fine, you want to live by those standards? Go ahead. Go ahead. And you're what? Western Europeans? Is that what it is? Not Western, I'm sorry, Europeans, are you? By Western civilization, ancient Greeks, remember logic, evidence, and the uh, can't remember the term right now. The scientific method and so on. No, they're just, oh, we decided, we investigated here, with our buddies, and and now we want you to recognize that just because we say so. And then those guys will say so, and then the other minions will follow and say, yeah, United States, our boss said that, so it must be true, or otherwise he's going to smack us with some sanctions. Or make us sanction ourselves, like in this matter right here with Russia. So that's the way it goes. And then you have 7 or 8 countries, and we'll say, yeah, that's terrorist, that's a terrorist organization. Was it proven? No, but it's okay. Look, he says. I told you, truth is not determined by democracy. If you have a room full of 10 people and you got 9 who say one thing and 1 who says a different thing, it doesn't mean that those 9 are right. And I always send you back to Galileo Galilei's example, when he was right and everybody else, mostly, almost, were wrong. And you go Giordano Bruno, and you got other guys in those times when they, some of them were burned on the stake by the church, by the Catholic Church for heresy. So they were right and the mass was wrong, including their little scripture over there. So let's go. So the Verkhovna Rada, the Ukrainian parliament, has drafted a legislation calling on the US to identify Russia as a state sponsor of terrorism, according to the Rada speaker, Ruslan from Russia. Ruslan Stefanchuk from Stephen. In a Facebook post, okay, on May 2nd, Stefanchuk claimed that a US designation would further isolate Russia from the rest of the world and allow for the strengthening of international sanctions against it. Yes, it would, but is it true? Is it accurate or not? I mean, yeah, it's true what you said, but you have to prove that's true first, and then you do it. Oh, it doesn't work that way? Okay, then I guess too bad. Let's go further. He further added that we have to separate terrorism from the civilized world by all possible means. It's true. That's true. But it remains to be seen who's a terrorist. Maybe they're both. And in a war, it's not like black and white. You know what I mean? Nevertheless, and in the intention of winning more American backing, no, the Rada speaker requested the U.S. Congress and House of Representatives to hold a vote on Russia's designation as a state supporter of terrorism. Who designated that? Rada? All right. The Rada speaker further claimed that there is ample evidence of Russia's compliance with this status. All right. That's ample evidence. Evidence needs to go through investigation, because evidence is that some people were killed. That's the evidence you got. And then it comes with pointing fingers, and then you got an investigation. I'm not going to go the whole process. Investigation, gathering the data, making the connections that those guys were the ones, and they knew, they didn't know, blah, 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 and so on. And it has to be an impartial investigation. As I always said, don't do it with you, with your uncle, with your brother, with your sister, with your, no, that's not an investigation right there among yourselves and the guys outside, because the Russians can do the same thing. What if they do the same thing? I say, oh, look, in Lugansk and Donetsk, look what Azov battalion did. We're going to investigate. That's terrorism. Let's decide and say, hey, U.S. Congress, why don't you designate Ukraine as a terrorist organization, sponsor of terrorism? Because we say so. It says here, we're going to say, we have ample evidence. What about that? No. Why? Because we're the good ones, you're the bad ones. Come on, leave me out of here. So this is how it goes. And Ghost of Kiev, I knew before I finished the whole, term, the Ghost of Kiev. Okay, that's a lie right there. But nevertheless, it worked for people, certain people. Good for you guys. You masturbated for about 2 months and a week or so with this Ghost of Kiev. Oh man, it's like the same thing with Trump, what the mass media did here for the 4 years of Trump presidency. Coming all kind of BS here, and liberals. The Democrats were all orgasm and masturbating in the morning. Trump is gonna be impeached. Oh, Trump is gonna be arrested. Oh, Trump is a spy. Trump this, and I was like, oh my God, if it makes you happy, go ahead. Do what you need to do. Well, anyway, thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just. Investigate impartially. Ciao.